Hey guys, what's up? So I wanted to show y'all what my ideal Bible would look like. The top two sections are the Old Testament, the bottom two are the New Testament. And I want to include the corrupt manuscripts specifically because it's going to show the differences, and once you see the differences, you'll get a clearer picture of as to why it is corrupt. But if you just read one Bible, it's just going to be like, we're the best Bible because this and that. But an ideal Bible will have the wrong text in there so we can discern ourselves. So, the very first verse of the Bible, Genesis 1:1, in the original Masoretic Hebrew, which I believe this specific verse was preserved correctly, is Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the King James Version on the right, just to kind of show that that was the official text they were using. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay? However, in the Septuagint, which is the Greek text, made around 250 BC, well before Christ was born, the Greek says, Enarchi epoisen hotheos ton uranon ketin gin, which is in the beginning God made the heaven and the earth. It's interesting because heavens implies plural. I mean, we consider hell or the different levels of heaven as something, but it's for you to decide. Now when we go to the New Testament, we're going to have to use the Textus Receptus versus the Westcott and Hort text, okay? So in the Textus Receptus, I use this verse. In the KJV, the correct text, it says, So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen. Okay, and that's the TR Greek representing that. However, if we look at the Westcott and Hort, it leaves out this last part. It just says, so the last will be first, and the first will be last. It leaves out the whole concept that many are called but few are chosen. The straight way, the narrow way. A lot of Christians, this is the kind of philosophy or mentality that people who read the Bible will have, that anyone can get into heaven, it's going to be okay, don't worry about it. But it says few are chosen, and that's a really hard concept. Predestination is a hard concept for Christians to want to believe because they want a nice, happy, loving God. But God created evil, according to the book of Isaiah, okay? He creates the lightness and the darkness and the wicked for the day of evil. He's preparing everything, okay? He's going to let them die and go to hell. And he's going to let the elect get raptured, and he's going to let the foolish virgins take the mark of the beast. He's going to let the foolish virgins have to stay so they don't take the mark of the beast. The wise virgins get raptured, or whatever that means. But anyway, if you read the right text, it totally changes your whole perception of what the Bible means. So my ideal Bible would have, for the Old Testament, it'd have the Masoretic Hebrew and the Septuagint Greek, as well as the KJV translation of the Hebrew, but the Brenton English translation of the Septuagint. That was an 1844 translation. And for the New Testament, I would prefer the Textus Receptus for a number of reasons. Been studying this for years. With the King James English, once again, because that is from the same text, whereas the Old Testament, the KJV uses this text, which has been corrupted. And then we would have to compare it to the Westcott and Hort texts, which shows what it leaves out. And then you can really be, your own judge. I mean, there's plenty of apps where you can just read it each time. But to do something like Origen did with the Hexapla, I forget what it's called, but it's basically it was designed in such a way that it had every language in it and all these commentaries. We only have fragments of it, but that is fascinating to see and compare everything all at once. Take it easy, y'all.